Today is a very exciting day because I am planting my seeds.
So today I'm putting in the pipe which will go from the downstairs toilet, the main waste line, this thing, and will connect to the upstairs toilet. There's some kind of funny angles to make it all work, but I've managed to do that, that's not a problem. So I'm going to cut this one. There's probably a better way of doing it, but like unless you have the proper tool, it's quite hard to cut a straight line because always your saw will do this. Don't know why, but it always do this, and if you hacksaw it's even worse. So what I do is I basically like sort of cut it all around, get the line straight, and then basically cut my pipe. And also right now we're in the middle of a coronavirus, and so I've just been panic buying. Like I've spent like 6,000 or 7,000 euros in the last 2 days, just like buy everything in the hope that it will arrive, and then if everything slows down and shuts down, I've got all these things, I can just build it. Yeah, I've got most stuff now. I've got stuff for electrics, almost all the plumbing stuff should arrive in the next 2 days. There'll be lots of like loose ends, I'm aware of that, but if all the core stuff can be done and kind of set up, yeah, that would be enable me to progress while things get crazy for a couple of months. So yeah, pretty straight. Now what I need to do is clean up these edges, clean the burrs. We don't want stuff like which will catch shit as it falls down the pipe. So clean this up and then we'll be good to go. So this is the main waste pipe which comes up from downstairs. I've glued all that in, or silicone did. So all I've got to do to connect them up, I've got like a baffle part, and I just need to cut this pipe the right length to fit in there, marked it out, and then I can basically just silicone it all up together. And in the top of this pipe, I'm gonna have two 40mm waste ins. This one will be from the sink, which will just be above it here, and then the other one will be an overflow from a ton dish, which will come from the header tank for my heating system. So if that boils out, I'm not allowed to cut. Normally you just have a hole out the wall and it will just drip out the wall. I'm not allowed to do that here because that's not my land. That's land of the government, and then the other walls is just too far away. The front wall. So, and just don't want it there anyway. So basically just gonna run it down into the main waste tank, that would be fine. So yeah, so you're just gonna like silicone that up, connect it up to this, and then this waste pipe will be basically done for the whole house, which is really cool. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna basically clean up the edges. A box of, 100 or so gloves, silicone gloves, just save your hands. And actually I think generally you shouldn't have, when you're building stuff, all of the chemicals and the glue and the silicone, it's blatantly not good for you. So it's probably good where you can to protect your body from it all just going through your skin and stuff like that. So basically, yeah, just put some silicone gloves on. I'm gonna build it out, just go round basically. Now, note that I'm probably putting on way too much silicone in general, but I can just wipe it off and use it in the next one anyway. And I just feel like, because these pipes will be so inaccessible afterwards, I'd sooner put on too much than too little. One thing you do find with, when you're doing pipes like this is sometimes when you put the cap on, it will all ooze on the inside, especially smaller diameter pipes. So you could end up on like a 40mm pipe with like a silicone tongue essentially blocking it, or it could come into a big ring and you have a constriction in your pipe. So with this, what I'm doing is I put it on, and then inside I'll wipe it round, make it clean, so it's like a clean, smooth line inside, and the outside I'll use that for the next part. So if you do put loads of silicone on, you've got to watch out that you don't end up oozing inside and creating like a blockage or constriction. So I can see on the inside where there's like a little step, like a little edge. I'm just gonna fill it with silicone just to make sure it's good. Last thing I want to do is have to pull apart that whole bathroom, because I don't really know what I'm doing. And that's just, I think, just one of the prices when you do stuff the first time. Always try and do it as good as you can, and like as like over the top and as accurate or whatever. Because if you don't, like you don't really know what you're doing. You got to accept that. So if you don't do it well enough, you could end up having to do it again. So that's it. What I have done, I've just put the mallet under, probably just put a bit of block of wood under at some point, just to support it. But it all falls down at a nice angle. I haven't like let this sag, and therefore it will pull there. And I think that's gonna work great. We'll see, hopefully it's great.
Today is a very exciting day because I am planting my seeds. I just made two tables, and these are the pots. There are the pots here, some pots here, some pots. I bought only these ones because apparently tofu and mushroom boxes are just as good. I have simple seeds, and I have even more simple seeds, which actually are like the real seeds, the ones that are made not in a lab, but actually that are just like naturally selected by people from very, very old times. I'm very excited about those, and I really hope that they will do well in my garden. Bunch of old mushroom boxes or tofu boxes are becoming plant beds. Don't forget to make the holes, because otherwise the water will get stuck. Tiger, always helping me. Yeah, Tiger. Yeah. It's really cool. It's like when I was a kid. I loved to water plants, and now this year it's so much easier to work with the patches. There are very little weeds, and there are a lot of compost, and it's so nice. I'm so excited. I'm sowing the parsnip. Here will be some peas, parsnip, carrots and beetroots, though I think carrots need a bit more sand to grow, but I don't have sand, so we're just gonna try. Funny thing is that when I started to seed the peas, bats started to fly around. So I think I'm gonna need to put something to cover it as soon as possible, because last year I planted about 200 peas and only one grew, so that's a good sign. Here bats really like peas.
So it's spring in Catalunya, and it's so beautiful here. The garden's all in bloom. This is a pear tree, I think. This is a peach tree, cherry tree behind it. It's so beautiful. A day's working on the garden. I'm burning up some old wood, having a bit of day off building, and it's in the middle of coronavirus. So we've pretty much decided to, as much as we can, just isolate ourselves, because we travelled recently, and there's a lot of old people here, a lot of vulnerable people. So do our best to kind of like not travel more than necessary, and just wait out the coronavirus in this rather beautiful location. And it's not the end of the world for us. Obviously a lot of people have it much tougher. They can't work, they can't pay their rent, they have all these things coming on and other medical conditions that they're really worried about. So the best thing we can do is just do our bit and try not to spread disease around. But it's so beautiful here.
So last year I was really missing some cherries, even though I have 7 cherry trees that are now beautifully blooming, but they just don't give any fruit. I mean, they give a lot of fruit, but there is no flesh in it, no meat, no cherry meat. So, and I don't want to cut them because look how beautiful they are, and they make a shade down there. So I have decided to just buy a new cherry tree, plant it here, which I just prepared a hole for it. I bought this weird thing that I've never used, which is called phytohormone. So I'm gonna put some on the roots of the new cherry tree. Actually, I hope that this is cherry tree because I bought more trees, like some apples and some pears, and they weren't really marked which tree is which. So fingers crossed this is a cherry tree. I'm gonna plant it here, and hopefully soonish we're gonna have some cherries.
So all of this old wood, some of it will keep, but we just got loads of junky wood again from the house, the clearance, the barn, the roof. So basically just gonna have another burn up now. It's a bit of a muggy cold day, so yeah, get the fire trench going. It's gonna rage. This is the living room kitchen space, and along this wall will be a kitchen. I don't trust this metal flimsy stuff to kind of like carry the kitchen shelves. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to build a wooden frame from the floor to the ceiling, which will kind of cover this entire wall. And that's going to allow me to run my waste pipes and pipes behind it, because I'm offsetting it, I'm squaring up as well. So it'll be a right angle here. That one won't be the same, but you know, you can get as close as we can. And then basically I'll be able to build a frame up here, all my pipes will go behind it, and then it'll be able to hang the kitchen units and put everything on top of it as well. So basically just to build that frame out. It's the middle of coronavirus now, and that means that I can't buy any stuff. Luckily the last days I've been a bit running around hoarding. It's not called a hoard unless it's building materials. So I've been hoarding building materials and doing loads of orders. Many of them won't arrive in time, but that's life. So I'm going to just do what I can with what I've got. I've got the frames up. I was trying to time up the whole thing, but it didn't work. So these are the uprights. I might leave a corner just for now, I'm not sure. But you can see, like, I don't know why, but in Spain, you can just not get like good stud work wood. This piece of crap, it's all bent. This is a straight side. So this floor in the bathroom here, it's got quite a big slope on it, and for that reason, and the fact that I'm going to put some underfloor heating in the bathroom on the request of my lady, I'm going to remove this floor, then I'll level out with cement, and then I can kind of put in like some board, some insulation board, underfloor heating, and tiles. So at the moment I am working within the confines of the coronavirus lockdown, so a bit limited on material. But I'm building basically like a strong structure which will house the hot water tank. It's got to be able to hold obviously the water tank, which would be 200 litres. So that's 200 kilos, and there'll be a header tank above it as well. So just using this big wood, make it really strong. And that'll basically take this space. I want to leave some space for pipes to go each side, and then basically from here to there will be an inbuilt bedroom wardrobe, which I'll kind of frame out, but I won't have to do too much apart from insulate the back, and then the rest after that will be more about kind of finer joinery, woodwork stuff. So Just trying to get this together. So today I'm starting to wire in the house. It's coronavirus, and I bought this 20mm pipe, but it's 20mm external diameter, which is really annoying. So it's going to be a bit of a snug fit for my cables. I need to do some math to make sure it's not going to really make me unstuck. But what I'm going to do now is, there'll be plasterboard stuck on this roof here. So basically I'm going to drill these holes through to my conduit and come through all these beams. And it's going to be a main way for me to access stuff in this room, basically. Because against here, there's this beam here which is holding up the whole roof, basically, or part of it. And I can't really bring it down the back of the wall because the door's there. So just put holes in the roof and just cut my way through. It helps if you put the battery on, doesn't it? Again, for this job, the impact driver is great. It just keeps going. Freaking nails it. So right now I'm putting in this conduit, so trying to use the big pipe which I've got, which can't go through everywhere just because coronavirus shutdown means I can't get drill bits and things. So this I'm going to put as much as I can, and then if I need to have some split runs of the smaller tube for lighting and then the main one, I can manage it that way. So I'm just threading it through under this one, which will have another capped one on top, and that will go to all the boxes. I've got a line going all the way down to get the light switches, and inside there. It's getting there, I'm making progress, and what I'm hoping to do once I've got these main ones in is I'll start putting some plasterboard on. I'm figuring out how I want to build a frame within it to support the radiators. So I've got this it's probably about 0.8 of a centimetre, little bits of wood. Now I'll put these underneath the bottom edge of the plasterboard. So I'll give it a quick brush under there. It's a bit fun to do these by yourself. But I'm going to leave these underneath. You don't want the plasterboard to butt directly on the ground because, you know, with little vibrations in the room or whatever, once I move 1.5 ton of plasterboard from the middle of the room, and I propped it up underneath. But when I move this, it's all going to move a little bit again. So yeah, so basically you're going to just put this board up. I've got my metal stud working ready, and it's just a matter of getting it up there. I'm going to throw in the other one. This is priority. Put it up there. Also try and bring this one out a little bit. Now, because there's a wooden beam on this, it's actually really easy just to get fixed up. That metal stud work crap is not very good to screw into. Now I can put half of this up and still run my cables. If I put half up, I can actually put my boxes in, but just make it a little bit easier to see what the hell I'm doing. Not that I know. And also, like this last week, I've been doing a lot of like little structure work, like framing, fiddly things, working out conduit, just stuff which takes quite a long time and doesn't have a good result. So put up a few boards and I'm going to feel really good about progress. But suddenly this will now look like a room with just 2 pieces of board and it's taking me about half an hour, you know, or less. So yeah, this is a way to feel good about what you're doing. So the stud work, it's not fixed in place at all. But what I can do then is obviously I can tap it in place. Now I've got these screws and they're just not very sharp, so they don't seem to pierce the metal, which is annoying because it means I have to basically drill them all one by one, which is fine. And place, do the same at the bottom, just leave it like enough so you've got exactly half coming out the other side. So because these are the internal walls, now I don't think this stuff, it's not that strong, this stuff. I mean obviously when you put plasterboard on each side it's stronger, but For the insulation I'll put in them, between these I'm mostly focused on the sound insulation because it's between bedrooms. So I'm going to put in this, the sound insulation will fill this gap. And then on the external walls I'll be using more thermal insulation. And I'm using this ecological stuff which is like recycled cotton, which is comparable, and it seems like a lot nicer to deal with than rock wool, which just, it's gross. So basically I'm going to, these walls, I put the spaces at 40 centimeters apart. 40 centimeters apart means it's a little bit stronger, and then I bought the insulation up, which is cut to 40. And on the walls, which are just kind of non-structural, you're not going to be like leaning against them in the same way. They're going to be 60 centimeters apart. I'm using the thicker insulation just to pad that out to try and make this as efficient and as warm a house as possible. What's actually quite cool, at the moment it's quite cold, it's cloudy outside, and the only thing heating the space is this lamp, which does get pretty hot. And it's actually relatively warm in here, even though, yeah, I don't know, it's a bit weird. But I think mostly because I've really gone to an effort to seal up all the gaps, trying to really seal up the house. The other problem with this coronavirus is I got some, like, who knows what's going to happen with working out the HVAC, the heat recovery system. So we'll have to see. So I've just got to cut a little bit off that. Just made it a little bit too long. There's no way for this stuff. Just bloody trying to make something accurate. The problem is when it's just a very thin edge, it can cut pretty deep to make it break. That's a thin edge. Let's try it again. So this is a butt joint, and I'm going to have to put some stuff behind it to make it stronger. So I'm just screwing in this next bit of plasterboard, and then I'll just do this edge and then leave it at that. Yeah, that's so much better than I thought it would be.